Hi, everyone. This is Chris. That's Rob.
Uh, That's me.
That's Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
This is CR Game Room. We're here to talk about some games and stuff. And I guess
Oh,
shows. How you gentlemen doing today?
good to pretty good. It's a little sleepy, but other than that, I'm good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. How are you? We never ask how you're doing, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay. I got to turn on
We
this.
actually care.
I forgot to turn on the light.
Now, now I know why we don't ask.
Yeah.
Just move on. Moment's over.
So
Turn off the light. You're out of the spotlight.
It's just me in the spotlight losing my religion. You know, same old, same old.
Okay, Aria.
But yeah, I just did some running around today and was quite busy all day today. So other than that, nothing. So
That's cool.
you, Ryan?
Work, a little more work. My wife got herself involved in some personal drama with
Mafia?
her
Oh,
old job, so dealt with that and got some free food out of it, so can't complain there. But
Nice.
there you go.
Nice.
I got free food today too. At our 9-hour meeting, we got pizza. So that was awesome.
I never
home
get
cooked
free
Greek
food.
Greek food is what I got. So
Ooh.
I never get free food. Lucky.
You're not trying hard enough.
I work at home, so what are they gonna do? Drive over to my house from Florida and bring me some
Yeah.
food?
actually,
never know.
I've had people order food and deliver it to me
Yeah, see?
through work before.
Technology, bro.
Yeah.
I guess I don't work for that nice of a company.
Now it's usually been Taco Bell or something like that. So
Hey, man.
I love Taco Bell.
I'm not gonna turn down a taco.
no.
Speaking of
See,
tacos.
somehow or another, I always make sure tacos get involved in the conversation.
Yep. Talking about those hot tacos.
Robert made an emote for the Discord server. It looks pretty flaming taco, if you know what I'm saying.
Heck yeah. It's
Flamerific.
awesome. It's so awesome. Once I figure out how to print stickers, I'll probably make it into a sticker.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool looking emote, I think.
Yeah. It's hard to make out the emote. We should probably put the actual picture in there so everyone can see. Did you put it in there? I feel like you did in the Discord.
I put it in our
put it
group
in
chat.
our private chat, not
Oh.
the public chat. I like the emote as is. I don't think the white background needs to be involved in it. It makes
Oh,
it
yeah.
harder
No.
to
I
do.
just want to put the picture so everyone can see the details on the
Oh,
taco.
okay.
Yeah.
Actually, you want to share it out here? Let's see if I can.
We can.
Oh.
It's on my phone, so
Yeah.
it'll be.
Well, I was gonna say I can try to find it here real fast.
Oh, yeah.
But besides showing emotes, we're going to be talking about tournament stuff, show stuff, and just general stuff about the channel. So
General stuff.
general stuff.
Yeah, here, hold on. Let me see.
Tacos are general, aren't they?
No.
All right, we talk about tacos a lot. Stop talking about tacos, dude.
Tacos are Lance Corporals.
Tacos are life.
All right,
There it
There
is.
you go.
Can you zoom in on Ryan there so everyone can see the taco?
Yeah, I already did.
Oh, okay. Well, it's my bad.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the cool little taco emoji that's in our Discord now. So if you join our Discords, you can call something a hot taco. I don't know how you would use it, but I use it for everything now. So if you leave a comment and I like it, you're getting a hot taco.
But yeah,
Flaming
Robert
hot
has
taco.
replaced his eggplant with the hot taco.
Yeah, no more eggplant emojis for me. They're all flaming tacos.
you don't know how many eggplants we've had in the private chat discussion with just Robert putting eggplants in there. It's
For some reason, it's the first thing that comes up.
for Robert always. Even when me and him are having a conversation in real life, he's like eggplant emoji.
Yeah, it's weird. I always carry an eggplant around with me.
What's up,
You never know
Jazzy?
when you might need it. Hey, Mel.
All right, so
All right, you stop sharing my stop
yeah.
focus on my screen. Okay.
yeah. Thanks for the warning.
No problem.
So yeah, we're in the third round, middle of the third
Yep.
round.
Third round of our legacy tournament here.
It's going swimmingly. everyone's ready to go to the next round before the last person actually plays, and it's like, okay, hold on, guys. All right, let's not force people to play.
To
Yeah,
be fair, though, last week was my fault. For being honest, I kind of held up the whole tournament by not being able to sync up with Joe properly. So we had our game on Monday, and we streamed that so everybody could see that it happened.
Mhm.
And yeah,
We announced the next
and
round right
just
afterwards.
Within about 30 minutes of that match ending, we had the next rounds announced, and I want to say it was within about 6 hours after that was announced, we already had the next match
Complete.
completed. So we had some guys quite literally chomping at the bit to get that done. So
Yeah. That's what I like about this, because everyone wants to try to do as well as they possibly can to get the cards banned that they're playing with, so
Yep.
no one can play with them next round.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it seems like since everybody wants to get these cards banned, we probably should have done both teams, first
We
and
are.
second place. Oh, are we?
Oh,
Are we
first,
good?
both
and
teams,
second.
but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
first and second. No.
Don't
Yeah,
make
first and
don't make Robert's nipples hard there. He likes
Yeah.
telling people no.
I do. I don't want to accidentally cut into my desk over here. But
Well, on that note, Robert, would you like to run through your 3 matches so far?
Can you
yeah,
remember your 3 matches?
they were all such a blur of disaster.
Well, why don't we go backwards? Start with your most recent one, which was you played last night against Chazkaz, I believe it was.
Chazkaz. I believe Chazkaz's real name is Charles. So Charles is a good dude. Super friendly. He told me that he's new to the game. He's been playing less than a year. But he had some starter decks just lying around that he picked up to play with his son, but his son was a little too young to understand the game, so he kind of shelved it, came back to it, which was really freaking cool. I have a lot of games that I shelve and I'm never going to play them ever again, so I need to sell them or something. But that's beside the point. But yeah, he played really, really well, man. While we were playing, I gave him a couple of pointers on, when to do things and stuff like that, which I probably should have taken into account myself because I played so bad. But I'd rather teach somebody how to play the game and have them improve. That's really how I feel about everything. I'd rather help somebody get better at something than stomp all over them. You know what I mean? So he had some really good teams. Crap, I had him up just a second ago and I left the thing, but they were awesome, man. What teams were they? There was a villain. There was the villain team that he had with Black Canary.
Yeah, he had the Black Canary Batman villain team. I got to watch a little bit of the. I came in late, so we weren't able to get the matches recorded.
Yeah.
But he's his other one was the Mr. Miracle Boom Boom Action Die team.
Yes, that one was
the
really
one
good.
against many.
Oh my god, that action die is ridiculous. I've never played against it in my life. And
I mean, you had the worst pairing against that team when you were running your instant war team against that. So you're getting this huge field with instant wars.
Oh.
And he's just like,
yeah.
Okay, sure, one against many, and I now get 9 damage.
Yeah, it was crazy. But he played those teams really, really well.
Yeah.
So he beat me pretty. The second one was a lot closer. It came down to some dice rolls, which he usually does in Dice Masters. And this time it wasn't so much me just getting my normal Rob rolls.
You had a couple.
I did have a few. There was a few. Ryan jumped in. He's like, "Yeah, those were some Rob rolls that you had there." You just, I was like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do?" You know what I mean? That happens.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do. So, yeah, he got me, and they were fun.
Yep.
I had a good time.
Yeah, I think he could have had you one round earlier. After the matches were all over and everything, I jumped in there and pointed out a couple of. I'm not going to say misplays because he still played very well, but mistook steps. I will call it to where he could have better capitalized on some rounds that he had and everything that was available to him to put the beat down on you even faster and harder. So
yeah, because those teams did have the ability to do that.
Yeah, he played it, especially there towards the end on the second round. He was playing a little bit more conservative because I think he was fearing a big backlash from you because he wasn't able to get a big field to
Yeah.
defend against anything that you might throw at him, and there wasn't such a need to concern himself that way. So
Yeah. But it was fun. I had a good time.
yeah.
It's always a fear of the crackback whenever you feel like you're in the lead and you're like, something's gonna happen where the crackback's gonna get me.
Yeah. There was
So-
one turn where I got a really big. Was it 12 or 14 damage?
Yeah,
through?
you did 12 damage one
With
round.
Batman.
He had Chaz had an open field.
Oh.
Rob, just comes in with a just massive Batman and a bunch of sidekicks.
Mhm.
It could have been worse actually because you triggered the instant war. You got your 3 sidekicks with 2 sidekicks you already had in the field, but he pulled no sidekicks.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very fortunate turn for me. But after that was it. Like really, I couldn't do anything else at that point. I was just happy that I got that off.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to do it for the last 2 rounds and it never happened. So
Well, and
that-
speaking of which, let's go back one more round. And your previous round, you
Which
played
is-
against our very own Tabasco Rogue,
Mhm.
Joe Vega. So that one, of course, was streamed for everyone.
Mhm.
But why don't you give us your take on that match?
Oh my god, I can't wait for Joe's teams to get banned. Those things are ridiculous. That
Have you
Poison Ivy is redonkulous.
have you gone back and watched them?
Oh, I watched it and I heard every little thing that Joe said. And I'm just like, oh my god, shut this guy up. No, I'm just playing. He,
You
He
can
was
shut him up
talking
by
a lot.
beating him. You can shut him
That's
up by
true.
beating him.
That's true. But no, there was a lot of there was a couple of things that I did that were, Chris was like, why did you do that? But there were also a couple of things that they didn't expect me to do, which I had to figure out on the fly, and it turned out to be a pretty good move, I guess. I was just doing things like if you watch the entire match and you listen to the commentary at the end, like Jocelyn and Chris were saying that I did some things that they didn't expect, and I was like, if they were good moves, man, I totally blacked out. I didn't know that they happened.
I will say I think one of the moves I haven't watched all of the match, but I've scanned through it, and I know one of the moves that caught I know specifically Joycelyn very off guard. Joe had a Green Devil mask out. You had 2 characters in your field, and you had a blob and a couple other things that you were wanting to field. I believe it was a blob and whatnot. And that's when you converted a sidekick to a bolt, fielded one of your characters, then KO'd it using
My blob,
the Malekith Global and
Mhm.
whatnot to keep yourself from triggering the Green Devil mask and keeping things going. And Joycelyn was just like, okay, that went way better for Rob than I expected that one. So,
Yep. That was probably the one where I blacked out.
Yeah.
but on that note, I'd like to thank Joycelyn for being able to step in on very short notice there.
Yeah.
She jumped in, helped Chris out there. Unfortunately, I was not available Monday night to
And
join
It's
in.
all good.
And unfortunately, she had to commentate with me, so
Yeah, I mean, it brought it all down a little bit having you in there, but
Yeah.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
But on that note, just a quick little side note, real fast. Chris reached out to we've got on our Discord server a group for all of our Patreons, and Chris, his first thing was he jumped in there and asked if any of our patrons wanted to commentate, and Joycelyn, who is one, jumped in. So
Yep.
an additional side perk that's not listed on our Patreon,
We'll
page,
put you to work.
you may get random offers to come on here and chat with us. So so there's a little ad out of the way for our Patreon. And so then let's go back to your very first round opponent, and that'll segue into why I had us do it in reverse order of Rob L.
Feels like months ago that you played that match.
I didn't play Rob Bell. I played Jocelyn my first round. That was
it
Joe.
Joe? Oh, Joe played Rob L. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Yep, you're right.
Did
played
you
Joe.
just black out? Right?
Yeah, me
No.
probably.
No,
Yep.
I played Jocelyn. She was
Yeah,
awesome.
you played Jocelyn round
Yeah.
one. I'm sorry.
And she
Yep.
destroyed me also. So so far, not too many fond memories in this tournament.
No. You played Super K.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
You big
Super
dum-dum?
K.
I know. I'm sorry. Disregard that. I played Super K and she destroyed me.
It doesn't
yeah.
matter
And
who he
shoes.
plays.
It doesn't matter. Replace any of those names, and I lost. I played myself, and I lost. I played myself.
He played a bye and he
so
lost.
currently,
I lost to the
just
bye
so
week.
you're aware, though, that can't quite be right, but Rob, you are in 14th place
Out of what?
out of
14?
16.
Yes,
Out of
not
16.
last.
Yep.
I'm showing he's 16th.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
He
He's already lost his match.
So. I'm 0-2. I'm 0-2, 0-2, 0-2. So
Yeah, I don't know why it hasn't fully reported. Let me refresh this. I don't know if I.
Yeah, you have to refresh it. Rob is definitely in last place.
Yep, Rob is officially in last place, 16th place.
Yes, doing the channel
Yes.
proud.
Yep.
See, he's just
You
trying
know
to do this so everyone else has a chance. That's all it is.
I'm holding everybody up right now. That's what I'm doing. They're on my shoulders right now. I'm just walking around like this. Everyone's just stacked up like that. Who's sitting at the top of that pile
So
right there?
currently at the very top is Jezco. The main reason he's the main reason he's sitting at the very top is he has already completed his round 3 match as well. That was the match we were talking about that within a matter of hours after the matchups being announced, they had their matchup done.
Wow.
So he is currently the undefeated with 3 wins and 0 losses.
Wow.
So he is going into well, let's step back real fast. A bit of minor housekeeping that we had. With 16 players in the tournament, we should only be doing 4 rounds of Swiss, not 5. So at the end of 4th round, we will officially have a winner of this tournament. So the question we're going to be asking everyone is, do we want to continue to a 5th round for actual tournament standings, or do we want to call it at round 4 and then play a 5th round for fellowship, and then we may maybe do we want to take that fellowship wins into account for bans for the legacy as well? I don't know. We'll leave that up to everyone to discuss. So
Robert likes more bands.
Yeah, Robert's all for more bans. I'm against more bans, but we'll let you guys as our viewers discuss that one a little bit more.
So I'm going to throw in a straw poll after after we get done live streaming. So when it goes back up, you'll be able to do a straw poll to see what you want to do. So look for that in the description after it goes back up.
If we decide to cut it off on week 4, are we gonna continue with our normal schedule that we've already created?
Yeah, no, we'll continue with the schedule as we put it.
That's good. So that'll give everyone time to create their new teams based off of the ban list. So
it'll give everyone an extra week to create a new team with the ban list.
That's awesome.
So that's personally where I'm leaning is we cut it at week 4. We play an extra round just for funds, because we're there. But at that point, everything is decided as far as what's banned, and you can start building for the next legacy. So, but back to what we were talking about before that. So Jezco is going to be one of the 2 3-0 going in to round 4, and the other will be between Rob L and CCM Quad 07. So
Otherwise known as the Canadian Wizard.
Yeah. So if we want to, let me switch over to share my screen out. We can look through the top 3 players' teams here.
Mike, Robert's trying to hand personal business while the show's going on.
This is an open forum.
Okay.
So let's first look at Rob L's teams here. So
this is Team A.
Yeah, this is his Team A. So this is an Awaken style team. Adam, he uses Storm as a very good removal technique. He's got Bishop in there to get rid of any of that non-combat damage. Make it to where you're going to have to swing at him. Mimic in there for even more targeted removal. Psylocke in there to with Clayface to get enough masks to spin things up down with energy field. It's a very
Oh.
solid team. Very Green Devil mask again to keep his opponent's field at a minimum, and Resurrection to keep with ramp. So he even uses Billy Club as removal. He doesn't just have it on there for the energy fixer. So really no wasted space on his team really, other than Clayface. As he's never going to purchase Clayface. He's always going to use it for the global, and even still that global's, I mean, I don't consider that wasted in any way, shape, or form there. Very very efficient team for what he's doing there.
There's not a lot of as Ben would call spammy parts to it. Granted, you could say the Awaken is a spammy portion, but it's spam with a purpose, as opposed to just throwing a bunch of 2 drops in there.
Well, and especially with the errata, that you can't target the same character for the spin up, spin down. It's much less spammy. It was an extremely spammy team when you could just target the same character. And I know in round 1 with his match against Joe, he several times he actually had the issue of either everything was level 1 or level 3. And so he wasn't able to spin things up to spin or down to spin the Atom or Storm up or down.
Yeah.
So he did have a lot of mitigation that he had to worry about there. So his team B, this one, I'm not gonna lie, this one did not make much sense to me other than it's an Iceman team. I look at this one and I just go hot mess personally. But he sees something that I definitely don't, and he's been able to pull out win after win with this team.
What I see on this team is layered control, because Collector can be control and using the opponent's control, and also the Shriek on his side, and he can field sidekicks. And then he has the Yanti for attack, and then if she gets blanked, Iceman, but he goes for Iceman first. So if Iceman is blanked, he has Yanti and all the other Attune on the team.
And the Yantis are also good because if they don't come up character face, then fine, they're bolts that he can use for the magic missile against the Iceman.
Yeah.
It's a well done, team. If I remember correctly, it's very similar to some teams we've seen at the Nats level, but don't quote me on that one. I've not been paying as much attention as I should.
I can't quote you. Oh,
no,
damn it. all right, I'll leave that out then.
Yep. So next, let's go through CCM's Quad 07. And his team A, I don't know why, but it cut off. This is a flip card, so we're not seeing the second half of it. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think he's ever going to flip that card. It's there for the global. So
flip that card.
So this is a Batman team. Get the sidekicks out, get the Batman through. Pumped up. Or actually, no, this is a different Batman. Sorry, This is the one that pump all of your sidekicks up. So Batman with the Wong and any sidekicks you get out there. He's got the Atlantis to continue the ramp to get those sidekicks out there. And Haymaker to give things over Crush. It's
and Blob for
he's
control. He's
going to get Jubilees out there. Blobs for control. Wonder Woman to keep his opponent from being able to use his globals. Enough things out there to be able to field sidekicks consistently. Again, not a team I personally could probably play very well with, but definitely is something that CCM has been able to take full advantage of.
Nice.
And his team B is a Hope Summers X-Men team. So he's taking a little advantage of the concept that Steven mentioned in one of his videos of Hope Summers duplicating Thunderbird. Then you can fabricate with Hope or Thunderbird to purchase a die, and then the other one will bring that die back. So you will be able to effectively purchase all of your fabricate dice in one turn.
Jeez.
And so, Yeah. Steven and I actually played a match on his channel where he did this with all the Fabricate characters out there, and I think in one turn he purchased 12 or 14 dice.
What?
Is he worried
Yeah,
about someone reaching
it's-
over the table and punching him?
He should be.
Well, luckily it was me that was there, so no, I wasn't, and I was more worried about him, slapping me because I was playing the Domino Energized team,
God,
double
that's
energy deal damage.
Stupid freaking team. Ugh.
So, and he's got the Malekith on this team, and the Yondu, deals 1 damage for each sidekick die in your use or non-sidekick die in your use. So he's gonna wait till that Yondu's out there. Then he's he has the Yondu rolled on a character face. He's going to fabricate like crazy with Hope Thunderbird. He's then going to field that Yondu, and you're going to take a large amount of damage from that.
Man,
It's
why is everybody being
know,
so mean in this tournament? Golly.
This one is. I did not expect this one to be in this tournament as much. I expected someone to kind of hold this one back for, the next series of Legacy. This one is definitely a threat. So looking at the two players' teams, no comment about the players themselves or their abilities, but I think CCM, I will be put as quote me on this one. I think CCM is gonna come out the winner in this one, but I would love to be proven wrong.
Oh, bold predictions made by Ryan here.
You hear that, Robel? Use that as fuel.
Yeah. Hey, by all means. So, but no matter what, whichever wins between them, they will be playing against Jezco. So let's take a quick look at his teams here. So again, this team is one of the fishy teams, as people have been calling them because of Atlantis. So Yellow Lantern Ring, you're gonna give everything Intimidate. You're gonna use Atlantis to get you a bunch of extra dies. You're gonna try to get as many characters out there. You're gonna use Black Widow. Everything's intimidated out. You're gonna try to come across with a good big swing when your opponent has a clear field. At least that's how I see this one coming across. Using the Captain America Global to bring in characters, the Asarak Global to reroll action dice as necessary, specifically for the Atlantis, the Yellow Lantern Ring. Not so much for the Green Devil Mask, but depending on how the match is going, for the Green Devil Mask as well.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong about that.
Nope. And then his team B. This is one I did not expect to see, or has a card on it I did not expect to see in any way, shape, or form in this tournament. Soulmonger. I did not expect to see in this tournament, let alone in what is effectively our finals of this tournament. So I'm very happy to see that. I actually really enjoy that card, but that I did not expect to see that coming out here. But this is, he uses the Batiri Battle Stack and the Queen Grab Stabs, and with the Black Widows, and apparently I have yet to actually get to see any of these matches, but just heard about them, and apparently he's wrecking some face with that little combo there. Apparently comes out of nowhere and just slow builds, or not even slow builds, but builds and just becomes
overwhelming,
a monstrous, overwhelming.
Ooh, a Friday the 13th kind of team.
Yeah. And with the Soulmonger, the Batiri Battle Stacks, and the Queen Grab Stabs being evil instantly pushes them to level 3. It's just, all of a sudden you're looking at, 3/3 or bigger characters, and, the Queen Grab Stab is just, bringing them in even more and bumping them all up. So,
Man.
I'd really like to see those. Man, interesting.
Yeah. So
Are
what
you
you know?
are you saying in our legacy tournaments we're gonna have Soulmonger banned off the first tournament, possibly?
There's potentially the possibility that Soulmonger gets banned in Series 1. So,
No. There's so many other
if Jesco
things.
wins, I want to point this out here. If Jesco wins, there's so little of what most people would consider mainstay meta pieces in Modern that are going to
my
get banned
God.
out of it. You know, I mean, you've got Shriek, sure. You've got Green Devil Mask.
Oh no.
You've got a Yellow Lantern Ring, and you've got a couple of the Black Widows with the global, you know, from Thor.
But
You
other than
know,
that,
Clayface.
Billy
You know,
Club.
Clayface is going to get out there. You know, a Villainous Pact gets out, but if I remember correctly, there's still another Villainous Pact from one of the OP kits.
that's a reprint, isn't it?
They're considered different for some reason.
Oh,
I
Right?
don't,
I hate this.
we'd have to double check that. We'd
I mean,
have
I'm
to double
fine
check
with
that
it.
one, but
Villainous
no,
Pact isn't a
you're
problem.
right. I believe Villainous Pact is just a reprint, so that would ban both of them.
Okay.
So,
Okay, good.
yeah, I'm sorry. Nefarious Broadcast has the
Yeah.
opposite one, but since it's a different name,
Yeah.
yeah, no. So I mean, I'm
Clay-
not saying none of these are, you know, good cards. These are something I would more expect to see banned at the round 2 or round 3 of a legacy tournament, not round 1.
Well,
You
the
know.
fact that Clayface would be taken out would be kind of a big blow.
Clayface does you know, removing Clayface does some damage to a lot of the speed teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Clayface himself really is not. You know, he just accelerated a lot of the win cons, but was never really part of a win con.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, a lot of the other teams that depend on him to really get them going are just not going to be good. So
Yeah, well, I mean, take Rob L's Team A. You know, he's using the Clayface to bring in Psylocke to get the masks for the energy field to spin up, spin down storms and atoms. That definitely slows this team down. It's still a very threatening team,
yeah.
but it slows it down. You know, he's not going to be able to get 6 or 8 masks in the field for one turn. You know,
I saw him get buy 2 Psylocks turn 1, and it was so stupid.
Yeah. You have mask and something else by the Psylocke. You then use a second mask to bring the Psylocke in and use as double energy, and use the 2 masks from that Psylocke to purchase another Psylocke. You know. But I mean that works for any 2-cost character with Clayface.
Yeah.
You know, so the 2-cost characters with Clayface, if you can especially capitalize on the energy type for a global like energy field or something like that, or the double fist needed for Kree Captain.
Yeah.
You know, the Kree Captain global. It just starts becoming insane what that can do. So it definitely slows down and makes the team a little less consistent, but it doesn't make the team less threatening.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Jeez. Man, these are some tough teams, man.
Yeah.
They're definitely different and they're definitely tough.
And they're definitely rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
and they're full of stuff.
Two of those teams
And don't
are
take
going to
no
have
guff.
their cards banned. You know, that's what we're looking at right now.
Man. Well,
I think
I don't hate it.
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah,
it's going to disrupt
it's
Robert
not-
that much.
Nah.
It is definitely not what I expected to see on a couple of these teams, but I think that's a check mark in the positive side for the 2-team takedown format, in that because you have to build 2 teams without utilizing the same cards, you already have to go a little outside the normal meta
Yep.
to build your teams to win your matches. So when you've already gone that far, and then you go, okay, now we're going to start having to ban cards. That the round 3 of this tournament is looking to be just off the wall crazy.
I can't
I'm
wait.
so looking forward to it right now.
Legacy 3 coming to you soon.
Yep.
Oh man.
So
Well, if everyone
yeah,
keeps
I mean,
finishing their matches as fast as they do, we'll probably be playing Legacy 3 next week.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we've got 5 more matches we're still waiting on for this round. But again, I mean, we only announced them, a little over 48 hours ago. So not too worried. Congratulations to everyone who's completed their matches within the first 24 hours, even.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got the slowpoke of the tournament to finish his match.
Yep. We whipped him in line. We got him to finish his match early this week. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no. I know we've got a couple of real interesting matchups coming up as well. So, do you want to stop focusing on my screen so I can go back to my camera?
Done. All right. All right. So now, like we promised last week, we're going to talk about a little bit of TV. The last third of the show.
Was that everything that we wanted to talk about first, tournament wise and Dice Master wise, before we move on?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I was going to say, I mean, if we're finishing up Dice Master talks real fast, I have one last little thing to say. So, of course, Worlds is coming up in Memphis, and starting September 6th, I believe, is the date. Of course, all of currently everyone from our channel will be there. I don't know.
Did we say that?
I'm pretty sure we've said it in the past, but if not, hey, everyone in our channel, everyone from CR Game Room is going to be live and in person at World. So
I will be there, guys.
I'll be there in a cardboard box.
I will be there, and I will have several different giveaways with me, and so come find me, and I will give you a little free giveaway of something, and I know we've talked about them in the past. I've got these little camera lights that we all use here on the channel. I will have several of those with me. I'm not sure what I will be selling them for, but they will be for sale for anyone who does want them.
Nice.
I think I think I'll do for World Special only. No shipping or anything. I'll do like $15, and I may have some other things as well with me. So, please
Crack rocks.
Find us. Say hi. I would say buy us a beer, but I think Rob is the only beer drinker. So
Well, Ben might be.
No, Ben. I forgot Ben. Ben, and Mr. Fahrenheit himself may as well. But no need to buy a beer for myself or Chris.
Yeah, I can't drink, so
I just don't drink.
To.
Yeah.
I've already drank my share over
Vacation.
my youth. No, just over my youth. But no, that's all I wanted to say there. I look forward to meeting all of you guys finally in person there. So hopefully you can make it, and if you do, best of luck in the tournament. So
for sure,
come say hi to us.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, be there, be square, because you won't be around. So sorry, I just messed up
You're
myself.
so funny, you crack yourself up and no one else.
Yeah. So last week we talked about how we were going to be doing full spoilers if we can remember them for The Boys.
The Boys on Amazon Prime.
And also
Amazon Video. Is that what it is? Is that what it's called?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Good Omens. If you guys haven't watched that, you need to watch that starting out. But that's a really good show.
Yep.
Preacher's back. Preacher is another show from the same comic book as The Boys. This first 2 episodes were kind of slow, but that's okay. But The Boys, talk about fast-paced action starting off right away.
Dude.
Oh my god.
So I mean, the first 5 minutes of the show sets the tone.
Yeah.
You've got your main character and his girlfriend, and then you've got the main character and a mist of red.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. The one of the what they call the Seven. He's a speedster essentially, and he accidentally runs through the guy's girlfriend and kills her on impact, accidentally.
Well, she was in the street, man. One step in the street.
She was just one step off on the street. She wasn't. It's not like she was in the middle of the street. The one thing you can say about this universe is you get to see kind of how it would be if real, actual people had these superpowers, because it's pretty messed up.
Yep.
So what hooked you guys right away? Was it just that?
Yep.
Actually, I wasn't hooked until Translucent's death.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The best way I can describe it and keep us family friendly is, does everyone know what everyone thought, how Ant-Man was going to take out Thanos? Well, they basically did that with Translucent and some C4.
Yep.
So
like this, they just shoved it up there.
And before that, they were trying everything they could to kill him, and he's laughing at them and just being an obnoxious jerk. Like,
nothing can hurt me. What are you idiots gonna do now? Oh, that just tickles a little, Then he falls asleep and wakes up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we plugged a pound of C4 up your butt. Come on." It's just like one of those. Oh shit.
Yeah.
If you try to pull it out, you blow up. If we decide you should blow up, you will blow up. And he's a character that could be you could see through him, and he's invisible, and the whole entire time he's just like this really creepy dude.
Oh, he's a perv and a half. Every time you see him, rematerializing from being, translucent, he's in a woman's bathroom.
Naked.
Well, he has to be naked because his clothes don't, change. Just his skin changes.
Yep.
So he's always, with no clothes on,
Yep.
And the way that they caught him is the main character is planting a bug in the offices of the Seven. And Translucent sees him in the bathroom fiddling with it because the guy's nervous, and he drops it on the ground.
Yep.
And he picks it up, and he's like, becomes untranslucent. He's like, what the hell? And then finds him and goes to where he is, and Butcher bleeds on Translucent to beat the crap out of him. It's so gross.
Well, Translucent clocks him good. He's bleeding out of his nose into his mouth and whatnot, and so Butcher's just like, spray the blood out. Oh, look, now I can see you.
He didn't just go. He said, he totally smiled.
Yep,
that was awesome.
I mean, was it Keith or Kyle Urban? He did that character fantastic. Carl Urban,
Yeah.
Keith Urban, he did pretty good music for the show.
Yeah. Don't ask me character names.
That's a real name.
And in this universe, the main superhero is a Superman-esque type character. In fact, it's a full-on ripoff of Homelander.
Well, they're all ripoffs. I mean, you've got
they're basically the Justice League.
Yeah, Queen Maeve as Wonder Woman. You've got The Deep as Aquaman. You've got,
I love his character. He's such a douche.
Translucent would be Batman. You've got. I mean, out of him, he's the one who's talking the monetary figures and all that stuff. That'd be him.
And then the Lantern guy, that would be the Green Lantern,
right?
Yeah, but he's not in the show at all. He's retiring.
No. That's who that girl was replacing.
And what was her name?
Starlight.
Yeah.
So.
A-Train would be Flash,
And then there was Black Noir. He was like the Batman character.
Yeah,
that was all. Was it Black Noir or something Noir?
Black Noir. I guess you're right. Black Noir would be Batman.
He is
and
Batman.
So then you'd have
straight up rip off without a cape.
Without all the pleasantries of Batman. That tells you how just off the wall that guy was, just like not talking to anyone.
Yeah.
I would say translucent. He's kind of a weird character in there because he doesn't really have a match.
I guess you would say the Martian Manhunter, because Martian can go invisible.
That's
Okay.
yeah.
You know, I get, you know, if we're 1-to-1 relating them, that I guess that would be where I would have to go with it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So the Deep introduces power the new girl by sexually harassing her and
Sexually harassing is putting it lightly. Dropping
Yeah.
trow and asking her to go. You know. It's,
yeah. And that's how
Yeah.
that character's introduced is by him being that. And then later on he gets gill raped.
Jeez.
That scene was disturbing. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyone in the show deserved it. It was him.
Oh yeah, no, he deserved it. There's no question about it. But you know, yeah.
Oh, it was so
Yeah,
gross.
That was bad.
But
I felt
still,
bad for the dude. Like over time, like I just felt bad because he just kept getting crapped on. But then you have to remember like what a piece of crap he is,
right.
and you're just like, okay, I don't feel bad for you anymore because you are a piece of crap.
I
So-
mean,
I
he's the
will say-
singular character that reaps what he sows in the thing
Yeah.
because he doesn't have a power that they can't use a lot. So that's why
Right.
he's the fall
Yeah.
guy for the superheroes being just off the wall crazy.
He's the brunt of all their jokes, effectively. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
you know, but no, I mean, the next major disturbing point is, so one of the things they're trying to do, the Seven are corporate sponsored by a corporation, and the corporation is trying to get to where they have a contract with the military so that the supers can take military action with the military in other countries.
Yeah.
And to help sell this point, they find out about a airplane over international waters that's being hijacked.
Oh,
And
my
so
God.
they send Homelander, the Superman wannabe, and Queen Maeve, the Wonder Woman, counterpart, in to save the day. Chris, you want to take it from there?
Well, it seems that Highlander and
Homelander.
Homelander. I thought it was okay. I'm thinking of there can only be one.
Homelander.
But seems like they've done their job. They've killed all the terrorists in there that you could see that have taken over the cabin area. Well, they hear banging on the door from the cockpit, and they go in there, and there's another terrorist, and he shoots the pilot dead. And Homelander
with his laser eye beams, heat radiation,
kills him and destroys the panel.
Yeah, cuts through the guy and into the control panels for the airplane, destroying all of the controls for it. Neither of them, Queen Maeve and Homelander, of course, have no idea how to fly. So, or not fly the airplane.
Yeah.
So, Queen Maeve cannot fly herself. It's more like original old school Wonder Woman who needed the invisible jet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, can't you just carry the plane? And he's just like, to be able to, I'm in air. I can't push it against itself. And to get enough speed, I'd just rip right through the plane, And
then she's begging him to take people one by one to an island. And he's
just like, fuck that. No, that's just, too much work. Come on, let's go.
And
We're
she's begging him at this point to do all
Right.
that. And he's just telling her, there's nothing we could do. This is a lost cause. It's
right. And basically ends up dragging her out of the plane and just letting the plane crash, killing everyone on the plane. And then the next scene you see of him, there's, the wreckage washing ashore, and he's now up there spinning it that, if they would have let us, we could have done something. Just playing it off as they weren't even there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And spinning it off to, so that they end up getting the military contract.
Well, they get it out of Community.
Right.
The worst part about that was like the kids and everything. They're just crying and
Oh, yeah.
screaming.
No, I
that
mean,
they
that's
just like
just-
take my baby, take my daughter, and like the you could tell that the Queen Maeve is just like this is messed up, man.
Well, and I
This
mean,
is messed
the
up.
hard part for me on that scene is I was 3 days off being on a flight with my, kids sitting next to me coming home from my vacation.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just thinking the whole time, I'm like, what if I'd been on that, what if that happened on a flight I was on with my kid, it hit way too close to home.
The-
you know?
But the messed up thing was basically Homelander. What was he saying, Rob?
He's like, get back. What did he say?
We can't have any witnesses to say that we are here. We messed up. We can't have
yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
They'd have to kill him either off the plane or let them die on the plane, is what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it's one of those. All of these people have to die now. Whether we do it or the plane crash does it, they all have to die.
That was a
Yep.
hard scene to watch. And Joe was bringing up last week how there's a 9/11 scene in the comics, and I think it equates to it, honestly.
Yeah, this was the replacement for the 9/11 scene, and I know Joe was fairly upset that not the 9/11 scene wasn't in there, and it was whitewashing our history and whatnot. And I was like, no, I don't see this as whitewashing 9/11 because they're trying to say this is taking place today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the comic books were written, 9/11 had just happened. It was much more, close to home at that time. And so they couldn't just redo something like that. They had to come up with a totally different scenario and one that helped sell the idea of going in, getting them into the military. And I think they did a beautiful job making that transformation there.
Yeah.
So, next we go into finding out more about Butcher's backstory and why he's so hell-bent on taking the supers down. And you find out that apparently his wife had worked for Vaunt, the corporation that supports all the supers, and that she was raped by Homelander, and then she killed herself because of that. So this is why we're getting to that. Don't air quote yet. This is So that's why Butcher.
That's what he was told. Is she killed
what he's
herself.
told, and that's.
But he says
evidence,
no.
yes.
Homelander killed her.
Right. Homelander had to kill her. She would never have taken her own life. So you then you find out about a drug called Compound V that several of the supers are taking to enhance their powers. So we then get into what I still think is the funniest scene out of the entire show, where Butcher, they're in a nursery where children, they're finding out children are being given the Compound V drug, and there's this baby, newborn infant.
Don't know nothing.
You know nothing about this baby inside like one of the NICU chambers, and the baby wakes up and blasts laser beams and hits the container and doesn't go outside the container. And so they see, okay, here's Compound V feeding into the baby. They take a sample, and security comes in. So what does Butcher do? Opens the container, takes the baby out, and just starts aiming the baby at the home.
The best use that he could have at that time.
Right.
So.
And, I didn't think of this at the time, but my friend pointed this out to me. But you notice, as much as he hated supers, he, as soon as he was done using that baby to kill, the security and whatnot, he treated that baby with care. He knew that the baby had no choice in the matter. It was, this wasn't something the baby picked or anything like this. And so he treated that baby with love and care. And I didn't catch that. And that, after my friend pointed that out to me, I was like, you know what? That's actually very right.
But that being said, why didn't he treat all the what's her name? The new superhero on the 7. He didn't give her the
older.
benefit. I know.
At that point, he's of the opinion, once they've made the decision to be a superhero, and be out and about, then they've gone too far. But this is a baby who hasn't had a chance to make any decisions, make any choices, and especially now that they're finding out about the drug being given to them to make them supers. None of them are born this way. They're all created by the corporation.
Yeah.
He treats that baby very caringly, So next we then go into finding out more about the wife that, was raped and murdered. And now we see it a little bit more from Homelander's point of view.
Yeah, as much as you don't want to see it from his side, you do get to see it from his side.
Right. And he, he starts asking questions of his, corporate management of, hey, because at this point he knows Butcher's involved, hunting him and whatnot, and he remembers, makes the connection between the lady that used to work for them that was, this is her husband. He's made that connection. So he goes to his upper management. He's like, whatever happened to that girl that used to work here?
Yeah.
And starts being fed lots of different stories.
Yeah.
And so he, you then find out, he goes to, a off-site location and starts talking to a scientist, which, as best we can assume, created him. You know, and tells him all about how, what they, they believe that Homelander was sterile and could never have children, but somehow she became pregnant with Homelander's child, and it wasn't a normal birth, that the child was growing exponentially fast, and so before they could take any action to do anything about it, help them or whatnot, the baby ended up clawing his way out from the womb.
And the grossest scene in the show.
And then dying by drowning in all the blood and viscera from the, in the mother.
Yeah.
So, and, it sounds one thing to say this, but they show some of this.
They show a lot of it, actually.
Yeah, they show a lot of it. That was, I mean, as hard as the airplane scene was to watch emotionally, that was hard to watch physically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's one thing to...
It was fine.
It's one thing to hear that kind of stuff, and it's another thing to actually see it and be like, whoa, I'm not...
Yeah.
I was not ready for this.
Yeah, this is not what I signed up for when I purchased my, Amazon Prime subscription.
Yeah.
So where do we go from there?
So basically after that, it kind of... I don't think we should give away the full ending because...
No, we don't need to give away... That's why I stopped talking.
Okay. So how did you feel watching the show, Robert?
Watching the show, I felt like I could not stop watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to watch every single episode back to back. I started by watching episode 1 and 2 on a Sunday, and I was like, man, this show's really good, but I gotta go to bed. I gotta work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I came home Monday, and I watched the remaining 6 episodes, and I didn't go to bed till 2 in the morning and got up at 6 to go to work the next day. So I thought it was great. It was action-packed. The story was solid. The characters were amazing. You cared about them. I felt like I cared about... I don't know about everybody else, but you learned to like...
We barely mentioned one of the actual main characters, Huey, who was the boyfriend who had his girlfriend run through in the very beginning. But
you get to see his character growth and development from being this shy little dude that the world just crapped all over him and walked all over him to like this dude. He's a badass and part of the boys. And at one point, his team gets captured, and he's like, "I'm gonna go save them." And what's his name is like Butcher's like, "Nah, they're lost, man. We got other things to do." And he's like, "Man, I'm gonna go save them." So he just goes by himself and gets him out of the jam, and a whole bunch of things happen.
He gets captured. That was his plan to get
his
captured.
Plan. Yeah, he saved him by getting captured, but.
Well, no, he smuggled one thing in with him. Yeah. And the way he smuggled it in was brilliant.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
His 12-year-old, from when he was 12 years old, retainer super glued into his mouth.
Yep.
And the other guys didn't trust anything the guy was doing until he's like, "No, Butcher didn't want to come save you guys at all. This is just me." And they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Well, let's get out of here then." The whole entire team does not like Butcher at all anymore. Yeah. Like I think for the most part, individually on a one-on-one basis, they think Butcher is trying to do the right thing and trying to do everything they can. But as a group, Butcher is just too much of a liability to anyone in their life that it's not worth having him.
Well, and
with the group.
Especially with other things that went on, Butcher burned all of them.
Yeah,
just recently, previous to that, Butcher burned all of them hardcore. And so yeah, none of them are interested in Butcher anymore.
But you get that feeling from the way that they've argued the whole entire time that he's done this similar to the past, because they make him promise, and he's like, yeah, it's not gonna be like that again, and it totally was like that again for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's just not someone to be trusted when it comes to getting superheroes. Is what you find out through the story, and I think that's what it's conveying the whole entire time.
Yeah. My other thing that I liked and that a character that I enjoyed was Frenchie.
Yes.
I really liked Frenchie. I don't know what it was at first. I didn't care. Like when I first saw him, I was like, this guy looks like a dick, but you just see like, and he tells a story about his dad and all this and that, and I was just like, man, this dude's pretty cool. Like I like this guy.
Yeah.
I preferred Mother's Milk a little bit more than Frenchie, but the two of them were great. I mean, the actors did a great job.
They're
with those
all
characters.
They were all great, but I really liked Frenchie's character.
Yeah.
Just his empathy and compassion towards the other chick is just like, I felt like if I was in that situation, I would be talking. I would be Frenchie at that point.
I had a hard time understanding him at times.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Was one of the issues.
Yeah.
And
the female. Which female are you talking about, Mike?
The Asian lady, the Asian girl, or Starlight.
There's three main female. Three main females. There's Elizabeth Shue's character. There's Starlight, the new soup of the seven, and then there's the one that the boys find.
Yeah.
With
The
the
girl
all
and the boys.
boys.
So
the
that's
Asian,
the one
yeah.
that the,
She that's giving away the end. Honestly,
well, no, I mean, let's not giving away the end to explain her. During one of their raids, trying to find out about Compound V, the boys find her locked up in a cage, and so they figure she's got to be involved with Compound V in some way, shape, or form. So they let her loose, and she ends up killing everyone, and they end up locking themselves in the cage to save themselves from her first.
Butcher
She
has
ends
to
up
let
being
him
a
out.
super. Yeah, she ends up being a super.
She ends up being a super, and how they find out how the whole Compound V is being given to people to turn them into supers.
One of my favorite actors in this show is Haley Joel Osment. He's
so
hilarious.
at first I didn't even realize it was him. I'm just like, this guy looks familiar. Where do I know him from? And then when his final scene in the show, I finally clicked who he was in real life.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I was just like, oh, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah. But
Billy Zane's cameo appearance was hysterical.
As Billy Zane.
Yeah, Billy Zane as Billy Zane. Perfect.
I think the pacing on the storyline was perfect. So that has to boils down to writing. They really paced the story right. They kept you wanting to stay watching the show, and kept you wanting to hit next. Me. Yeah.
Yep.
They did it 100%. To me, it was the perfect blend, because you could stop at the end of any episode and take a break if you wanted to. Come back and continue on. But it worked out. If you wanted to just binge it, you could do that. But again, it was never there's something like Stranger Things. I have a hard time walking away between episodes of Stranger Things. So I can't watch that until I know I've got the 8 hours I need to binge it all at one time. Jeez. Whereas, this, I knew I could okay, I have 2 hours. I can watch 2 episodes. Okay, I can, deal with some other stuff. I've got another hour. I can watch 1 episode.
Speaking of Stranger Things, if you're a DVD collector, Blu-ray collector, Stranger Things is $8 right now at Target. So
I have not seen the new season.
So there you go.
Season 3, I think, is the best season so far.
If it ends on season 3, I'll be happy. It's fine.
Yeah.
They leave you with a little cliffhanger at the end, like they do with everything on Netflix. But
they've already they've already talked stuff for season 4, so there most likely will be a season 4.
Are the kids going to be young college students? Because they're getting pretty old.
They're getting so old already. Yeah.
They got to do it within
the
2
90s
years
by then, right?
Yeah. Because if they wait 2 years like they have been, the kids are going to be too old to play the parts.
Yeah. Yep.
I think The Boys is one of the best streaming shows that you can have, because it doesn't force you to watch it like Ryan said. But if you binge it, it definitely rewards you with being able to see something good.
There's a lot of little tiny things that reward you for binging it, but don't take away if you didn't catch them.
Yeah. It's
You know,
it's good as a weekly thing if you just want to watch one per week, like like regular television. It's
Right.
something that totally can be done.
it's, you know, like, you know, I always go back to, you know, maybe I'm aging myself here a little bit, you know, Lost, when Lost was airing on TV. Lost to me was a show that was way ahead of its time and really deserved to be a show that was binged and not watched weekly.
Okay. I've never seen an episode of Lost in my life.
Watch
I
the first
binged it.
3 seasons and stop.
Yeah, that's all
Okay.
you
You
need.
know, don't go to season 4 and
For
definitely
the love of God, don't go
don't
blonde.
don't ever. Season 5 just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Just think of it that way.
Wow.
But no, I mean, I vividly remember when
Weren't they all dead at the end?
we're not getting into it. You know, that was one of those, you know, you'd watch an episode and I'd go to work the next day and we'd spend 4 hours discussing what was going on, you know, with me and a couple of my coworkers. And then we'd spend, you know, the night before it would air, you know, the next episode would air, we'd spend probably another 4 hours discussing what we thought was going to happen in the next episode.
What are you doing at
Yeah.
work where you can talk for 4 hours about a show?
Well, I mean, we're still working, you know, while we're doing this. You know, we worked in what we called the fishbowl, so it was a service desk,
Mm.
and you know, we would just be talking. You know, we had the half height cue balls to where, you know, sitting
okay.
down, I'm still seeing over them. You know,
Yeah. Gotcha.
Kind of what we did at our job that we worked at together. Me and you would just sit there and like talk about nothing.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Random crowd.
Or sleep.
you know, but I always take a show and compare it to that. You know, if it's like that, it really needs to be binged. You need to be able to watch it episode to episode to episode. Another one, 24. You know, 24 really, I mean, I binged it. I got the DVDs and binged it. I didn't watch it as it was airing weekly. I tried on one of the later seasons. I was like, oh God, no, I'm not going to do this. You know,
It's hard to watch a show weekly.
Yeah.
It's
you know, but some shows work for it, and I think, you know, The Boys is one of those shows. They could have done it as a weekly show, and you would have been fine.
yeah.
You know,
I think Amazon's pretty good about that because I thought the Good Omens could have been a weekly show too.
Good Omens was another one that was really like that. Orange is the New Black.
I haven't.
No,
watched.
that's Netflix though.
Yeah, I haven't watched the previous season. So.
Man in the High Castle, or Man in the Castle High, or whatever. That was another one.
Man in High Castle, yeah.
Yeah, you know, that was another one that really you could have just watched weekly and not binged it and been fine. Netflix has the exact opposite in that regards. Netflix really is, they want you to binge it. They want, you know, they pace it to where, no, you're going to sit down and you're going to spend 8 to 12 hours, you know, dude high in a castle. There you go.
Yeah.
Now,
That was me.
I was gonna say, do we have? Now I can't even remember their names. You know, Kelso. Kelso from 70 Show.
Oh yeah.
You know, he was also in, you know, Dude, Where's My Car? You know.
That's him.
That classic.
So I'm
Tick.
excited for the show called Carnival Row.
Yeah,
with
that
Orlando Bloom.
that just came out or just coming out.
Yeah, it should
that
be
looks
out
interesting. The Tick, so I was a huge Tick fan growing up.
I love the cartoon.
The cartoon was fantastic. The comic books were great. The original live action show was hysterical.
Yeah.
Yep.
The new one they have, the 2 seasons of that, they have done a stellar job on. You
Yeah.
know,
It got canceled
they-
though, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't
think it
follow on those. If it did, I'm very sad. You know, they did a great job capturing something from every one of those.
Wow.
FX has a new show coming out that's like Japanese horror. It
Yeah.
looks really good.
Whoa, that's gonna be crazy because Japanese horror,
Yeah.
it's a different type of horror than it is here. Like it's crazy.
I'm not a horror fan, so I have zero interest in that. You know.
Yeah.
It makes the Ring look like a like Dora the Explorer.
Right.
Like, kind of the
Hola,
way-
amigos.
Yeah, the upcoming stuff that I'm looking forward to, of course, Rick and Morty season 4.
Yeah.
But actually, the one that I think has surpassed Rick and Morty for me is the next season of Archer, where he's going to come out of the coma.
Yeah, I've never watched
I've
Archer.
never seen Archer.
Yeah.
I watched 1 or 2 episodes and I was like, I can't watch this show. It's not great to me. I don't know.
It's not fire.
Archer's one of those. It's an acquired taste. You know, I grew up on James Bond spy novels type stuff. My dad was a huge fan of that genre. So the fact that it's mocking all of that is
Yeah, my
something that I
dad
do enjoy.
loves it. He watched the crap out of that show, but I'm just like, I can't watch it. Like the guy that does the voice for Archer, you know, he's Bob from Bob's Burgers. I can't watch it either. I just can't. I think it's the guy's voice. It's very unique, and like I'll give him that. It's just kind of boring to me, and I don't really care for it that much.
The first
good
couple
job
episodes
to him,
are
though.
hard because they're all trying to figure out their character.
Yeah,
You know?
I just can't do it.
Yeah, no.
I've seen older episodes and newer episodes. It's not my cup of tea. People like it.
What about
Hey,
that? What about that commercial with the guy as the chef, and he's the guy from Bob's Burgers? You can hear it in his voice, and you're like, "No, you're not at a burger place." It's like I think it's some kind of breakfast food place, or
No,
maybe
he does Arby's. He does the
Arby's,
Arby's
yeah.
commercial.
It's like you're not in the right restaurant, bud.
He's like, for sandwiches. Like, all right, calm down. Like, all right.
when you
Coach
gonna start?
McGurk. Yep, that's him. Coach McGurk from Home Movies.
Oh, dude, Home Movies was so good.
I never watched that either because I didn't like the guy's voice.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, and
Anyways.
then as far as entertainment news, I know the one big thing is Disney Plus. Their major announcement with their subscription plans. So you have your normal subscription plan. You could just subscribe to Disney Plus, but they're coming out with a bundle for $12.99. You get Disney Plus, ESPN, and
Plus.
Hulu.
ESPN Plus. It's different than
ESPN Plus. You're right. Sorry, ESPN Plus and Hulu. Now, the one thing I found out, it is basic Hulu. You still get ads.
That's what I have right now with my Spotify.
I don't have time for that. My Hulu has to be commercial free. Thank you.
Right. It's one of those. I'd rather pay $1 more, $13.99 a month. Give it to me without ads. All 3 of those.
Yeah.
Hell, drop the ESPN Plus for me and leave it at the same price, and I'll be happy.
I'm getting tired of them trying to shove that ESPN Plus bullcrap down our throat. I'm sorry, I don't care enough about watching water polo. It's terrible what they're doing to those horses, but
There's no horses in there.
In other ESPN news, did you see that they're coming out with a new channel? And this is 100% real.
The Ocho?
ESPN
Yes.
Ocho?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, like Dodgeball had it 100% right. They are soothsayers of our time.
Just like basketball called it.
Yeah,
Long celebrations with football.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, I'm interested in the Disney Plus thing for sure. I passed up on the DC Universe one, but I don't know.
You and I can talk on that one. I don't know how well they're going to survive. The Swamp Thing was, I don't know. I could not get into Swamp Thing.
I heard it was good.
I've heard good things about it. I got 2 or 3 episodes into it and I was just like, they've already canceled it. They're not going to do other seasons. So I'm not going to invest in it.
Titans again?
Yeah,
So
Titans, they dropped a trailer already.
Yeah,
for
they dropped a
season
trailer for season 2.
It looks good, man.
They're about to finish up Young Justice season 3. That's what they're airing right now. So that's been real good.
I'm gonna wait for that to finish, and then I might get it for like a month.
Yeah, and that's what you need. That's what you need to do. It's like, okay, I'm going to get for 1 month,
No
pay the
holds barred.
premium. So binge through, Titans, Doom Patrol, and Young
Yeah, I heard
Justice,
Doom Patrol's good too.
and then drop it. And then wait until the next seasons of those come out. Grab it for a month and go. I pre-ordered, about this time last year, so I was paid up in advance and whatnot. I probably will not resubscribe to it when my renewal's up. and I will probably do the grab it for a month and go. You know,
Yeah, I
it's just-
canceled my HBO subscription last month, I think.
You meant to do it right
It was
after.
bad timing. Yeah, I meant to do it right after Game of Thrones, and I canceled it at the beginning of July, and I had it to like the 21st of July. And I meant during that time to go back and watch Chernobyl because everyone was saying a lot of good things about it. I never got around to doing that. I also wanted to watch that. Was it called Euphoria? The one with Zendaya. I wanted to see that one, and I was like, I'll never see it. It's fine.
now
I
go
can live
ahead.
my life without seeing it. I'll be okay.
No, there was another one. I'm trying to think. But no, the main issue I'm having right now is the fact that you've got all of these different streaming companies coming up. You know, for a while there, I was paying close to $300 a month for my cable TV, my home internet, and my phone bundled. And I was like, okay, with a kid, it was, I couldn't really cut the cord because of what they wanted to watch. As my kids got old enough to finally cut the cord, I was like, this cord's cut. And I cut that bill down immensely. And then I started adding subscription service and another and another. And I'm almost back up to what I was
Yeah.
just for the cable TV portion, not the whole bill, not the internet, not that, just the cable TV portion of it. I'm almost back up to that just in subscription services, and there's still more coming out. It's just like, okay, you've got, and they all have decent exclusives, CBS with, for a while they of course had,
Had that Star
Big
Trek
Bang.
one.
Yes.
Well, they
it's
had
super
Big Bang and Young Sheldon is how I watched those, and then because the Star Trek Discovery came out on it, and now Picard coming out on it, it's like, okay, Big Bang's gone, but I got to keep it. I got to see Picard.
What
Yeah.
What's funny with that is the wife went back and watched the Fluid episode with Picard on Star Trek, and she's like, if all the episodes are like that, we need to watch Picard. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably gonna all be like that because CBS wants it to be awesome.
Right.
Robert, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's an episode where he like learns how to play the flute from this weird series of events, but he basically like lives another life. And it's a really it's considered the best episode of TNG.
Yeah,
Okay.
fantastic episode. But yeah, I mean, every one of them has that, and of course, Disney Plus is going to get you because they're going to move all Marvel and Star Wars over to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real reason why I want it. I want to see
Right. So I mean, it's one of those.
the
Okay.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, no, but I mean, even I'm talking not just their shows. They're going
Their
to
movies,
remove
yeah.
when their contracts up with Netflix and whatever.
Yep.
Those are all coming off. You're going to have to go to Disney Plus to watch any of that, and it's just
I mean, I don't care. I have all those movies already, so I don't need Netflix for that.
And NBC Universal is putting The Office on their own streaming service. I don't see any way in hell NBC Universal is going to really do anything. I think once HBO, or not HBO, but Disney really gets going, they'll start taking over the market on the online services and then start buying out other services and buying their catalogs.
Probably so.
Because, I mean, that's how we see what Disney does now with movies and intellectual properties. It's like, we'll just eventually bury you and then we'll buy you.
Yeah. Probably so.
But we've been rambling on for about 20 minutes over our normal time frame. So
yeah. So I think we covered a lot of things. We got our tournament stuff out. Again, appreciate everybody for all the games that they put in, all the time they put into the tournament. Thanks, Chaz, for stomping on me yesterday and getting our match out of the way early. No thanks to Joe for beating me on Monday. And Super K, thank you for destroying me week 1 and letting me know that I suck at Dice Masters again.
Thanks for putting Robert in his place.
Put me in my place, but nobody puts baby
exactly
in the corner, so I'll be out. Yeah.
So
cool.
Rob,
So that's
you want
gonna
to run us through. Take us out?
that's gonna wrap things up for us here in the CR Game Room. Be sure to like and subscribe. Help support us via Patreon too. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and join our conversations on Discord. Check out our website crgr.rocks. And as always, thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
Bye.